Nagtataka ako bakit dalawa yung reservoirs. If I move backwards, that was unsafe. So you can patong it. Ayan. To space, leg room. Check out the space time. I'm just talking, and if you're still watching, what the frick are you doing with your life? Okay guys, so today we'll be reviewing this GAC Empow GB, and let's go! Starting from the front fascia, we have this really big grille going on, and we also have LED headlights. So this has height adjust, alarm for on, follow me function, and the headlights look really pretty, oh. Very Euro or premium Japanese. So here we get a CF cover, and ano pala siya, nagbo-beep siya pag nag-unlock. So it's also a proximity thing. Ayan. This is what it looks like from the side. So ayan, nag-lock naman siya. This is what it looks like from the side. Very sleek, very coupe looking. Ang ganda ng body lines niya, very streamlined. I also want to point out this nice it locks and unlocks kasi the keys here. Sorry guys, I get distracted. You also get this really beautifully done chrome accent that goes all the way here na it highlights the lines of the roof. Ang kulit ng kotse. Teka lang, iwan natin kay editor siya yung susi kasi ang kulit niya. Here, take the key. He's so kulit. Okay, so moving downwards, we get the 17-inch alloy wheel wrapped in 225/50/17. So these are GT Comfort F22s. Front disc brakes, we also get disc brakes at the rear. So for this one, we get a faux garnish. It's blocked off tip with diffusers. Or if you move downwards, it's really twin tip. Ayan, it's just not open. Parking sensors also, and a reverse camera over here. The taillights look really beautiful. Reminds me of Euro cars talaga. And we get this vent looking thing. Ayan, to make it look more aggressive sa rear. Very pretty. So we also get this big third brake light. So I'm gonna talk about this more later sa driving review. And yeah, that's what it looks like. Before we check out the bonnet, let's move muna kasi medyo maraming tao sa spot natin. So let's go. Okay, unlock. Ayan, noisy boy. So now let's go under the bonnet. So I like this feature. So this is how you open the hood, and you have to do that twice to unlock. So that's such a Euro thing to do. Oh my god, so hot. Ooh, hot. So the double pull unlocks everything. So there's no latch that you have to tapek to open the hood. So the safety is already there inside yung open na tuk-tuk. So this is the Mega Wave engine. It's a 1.5 liter turbo. So it produces 168 horsepower and 270 Newton meters of torque. And this is mated to a 7-speed wet DCT. Okay guys, kaya pala wala tayong turbo lag kasi it's a water-to-air intercooler. So usually, if you have your air from your turbo, tapos to your intercooler, tapos pagbabalik, so ang layo ng ikot niya. But with this, it's turbo, intercooler, intake. So, very straightforward. So, kaya nagtataka ako bakit dalawa yung reservoir. So, isa pala for your water-to-air intercooler, and this one is for your regular stuff. So yeah, this reminds me actually of what the Celica did back in the 90s. So, that's pretty cool. So, one thing I noticed na sobrang dami yung sensors. It's Bosch, so that's nice. So, yun, nakakampante na they use quality electronics. And good to note na lang, the compressor and alternator is here, so it's gonna be easy to service. Okay guys, before we continue to our interior shots, change venue tayo kasi many peoples. Okay, so this is also the perfect opportunity to show you na there's a remote start feature for this car. So all you have to do is click lock and press hold. Ayan, so the car starts na and it's idling and it's already naka-aircon inside. So that's very convenient. Let's go! Okay, change venue complete. Let's get into the interior. So it's keyless in its proximity. So if I go far, it's gonna lock. Ayan. And then if I move backwards, that was unsafe. Ayan. If I go closer, ayan, it's unlocked again. So let's get into it. So this is what the interior looks like. Looks very premium, leather material, a yarn. Okay. So what I love about this is when you step on the brake, this is gonna turn green. I'm gonna lift my foot off the brake. Ayan. So step on the brake, wait till it turns green, and start. Okay, before we move on, let's kind of get the place brighter. We actually have a sunroof over here with anthracite. So, anthracite material. Ayan. Very Euro. Ayan. Sunroof. So, here in the driver's seat, it feels very cockpit-like. Ayan, ang taas ng center console. And look at this really beautiful display. And we get a really nicely sized wheel with this T-shaped thing. So our infotainment controls are over here, and this is our info controls for this panel. So it's such a nice place to be in. So everything is soft touch, and then we get this CF panel over here, and then we get a cubby dito sa ilalim. Wait, let me put you guys here sa beside my leg. Ayan, so we get a cubby over here. So this is where the chargers are at. Ito ko pakita. We also get a power socket over here. So lahat ng kalat natin hindi kita. I can just put all my cameras down here and hindi siya kita up top. So this one is a 7-inch display. And then over here we have a 10.25-inch touchscreen display. So this one has Apple CarPlay, Bluetooth, and aux. So sadly there's no Android Auto, but pwede na. So I can still connect my Samsung via Bluetooth. Moving downwards, we have our very seamless aircon vents, ayan, and then our hazard buttons over here. And what I love about this is we have physical buttons for our aircon, and we also have a place to put our phone. Now moving downwards, of course, our start-stop buttons over here. Volume or on-off is here for sounds. And this one naman, yung kaparallel niya is actually our drive modes. Our drive mode display is gonna be here. So DIY, ayan. Eco, Comfort, Sport, and Sport Plus. So if you move it to Sport Plus, it's gonna display actually all these gauges. So we get the turbo, we get the water temp, oil press, oil temp, and air temp. So we don't need all the aftermarket stuff na that we usually put on our project car. So this is really nice to have. So going back, this is our cute little shifters. Ayan, feels good. Very thruster-like feel. And then when we're gonna put it in park, we just click this. And then this is our e-brake button. We also get auto hold. Ayan, so for those traffic scenarios where you don't want it to crawl. Over here, we also have our TC button, our trunk, and our fuel or our gas cap. And then we have a manual headlight level thing over here. As for cup holders, ayan, we get this armrest. And actually, we got 2 cup holders. And they're super easy to remove. So, you can fit 1 tall bottle sa harap. Pero sa likod, if it's too tall, tatamaan siya ng armrest. So, pero you can leave it open naman. May isa pang configuration for the cup holder. So, you can patong it. Ayan. So, para tumaas yung cup holder. If you only have 1 drink, if ikaw lang naman, ayan. So, if my armrest is here, easier to grab. For driver side and passenger side, we also get a bottle holder. Ayan. But cool cubby pa. So, there's actually a lot of stuff you can put in this car. So, may cubby ka dito. May cubby ka pa, again, under the transmission tunnel. So, I really like that. For rear view mirror, we get a manual day and night thing. And then our ilaw controls are over here. Ayan. Feels good. Feels very premium. And then this is our sunroof controls. Okay, now it's time for the Chini test. Magagamit ko ba ang sun visor to do my makeup? So, it looks very amply sized. Ayan. Pwede naman. There's a provision for ilaw, but I don't know how to turn this on. Now, let's move to the back of the GAC. Actually, this is gonna be my first time sitting at the back of the GAC. Kasi it's so fun to drive. With a cockpit like that, ngayon ko lang naisip upo sa likod when we're actually doing the walk around. So over here, we get more CF material, CF thing, more soft touch hanggang sa likod. Very nice. Bottle holder. And let's see. So here at the back, it's pretty comfy. I have a lot of space. Headroom is ample. And usually, ang complaint ko sa sedans is parang decreasing yung headroom. But this one, not as much. Surprisingly, not as decreasing towards my reclined head. So that's good. Okay, let's check out the inside. So here at the back, we're so far from the people in front. So kailangan natin gumanyan, or we really need to move forward to talk to them. So we get seat pockets over here, 1 singular vent, and we also get 1 5-volt USB socket. The seat material is so nice. Wala rin tayong center armrest, so we'll have to work with a bottle holders. And looking up, we get our lights. Ang cute ng ano niya. It's a baby. Look at that. So cute. So tiny. Okay, let's move on to the trunk and see how much space we have. Okay, so just click this. There we go. So this is all our shooting equipment, shooting kalat. The aperture is pretty standard for a sedan. Pero it's pretty deep inside, huh? It's pretty deep. So yun nga, the seats also fold down, but we have to access it from the second row. So marami ka naman malalagay. So let's see what it looks like folded down. So again, using this lever, poop. Ayan. So naiiwan yung third middle seat passenger seat belt, by the way. So you get this much space for luggage and still this much space for luggage. Okay, let's just push back the items and check out the space tire. Here we have a spare tire and tools. So for this one, it's just a donut, and then our jack's also there and tukuk. Okay, that's it for the walk around. Let's get gaan ng trunk. So let's get on to driving it. Let's go. So aside from the usual aftermarket gauges na naging OEM na, we actually have a lot of other info na car guys would love. So parang ito, if you click this asterisk, so if you click this, a lap timer is gonna show up, and using the same asterisk button, it's start, and then stop, okay to lap, this one to stop. So first of all, when you get into the Empow, it feels very sporty, very premium. Ito nga, very cockpit with my jet thrusters. Feels nice to be in. And everywhere your hand lands, my soft touch bit, so it's really plush and nice and luxe. So I really appreciate the interior not being very plasticky. So for the driver's seat, we get a power adjust seat. And for steering adjustment, it's tilt and telescopic. So it's really easy to find your driving position. As for the seating, you're very in it, very bucket siya, very bucket seat-like with these bolsters that really hold you when you're cornering. So very cockpit feel talaga. And I also like my wheel is medyo malayo sa dashboard. Yan. It really feels like you're piloting a craft of sorts. Visibility is pretty okay. I think my only gripe is actually yung third brake light. Ang laki ng hump niya. So when I look in my rear view mirror, there's like a big chunk na I can see. So if I'm being tailed by like an Miata or any other small sports car, hindi ko siya makikita kung nakatutok siya. So I just wish na the third brake light was placed on top na lang instead of at the bottom of the rear glass. As for steering feel, there are actually 4 modes to choose from. So there's relax, there's comfort, and there's sport. So relax, as the name suggests, that's where the steering is very light. Then dun naman sa sport, that's where it's most weighted. As for steering resolution, there's actually a lot of feel even in relax mode. As you get to the heavier modes, hindi naman nag-i-improve yung steering resolution, so I'm really good with the comfort mode already. So I might sound like I'm compensating here when I say na I'm choosing the lightest steering setting, but actually masaya na ako with it. Like I'm really happy with the steering feedback of this car. As for the steering ratio, it's pretty quick and sporty. As for power, the Empow definitely has more power than you need for your daily commute. With a 0 to 100 time of 7 seconds, the temptation to floor it para ma-feel lang yung G-force is always there. And thanks to this car having a boost gauge, we actually know how much boost it's producing. And it's producing 1.7 bar of boost! Alam niyo ba yung mga 90s turbo cars natin dati? 1 bar pa lang, mataas na eh. Yung 240Z ko na RB25 na boost natin sa 1.2 bar, sumabog eh. So grabe talaga technology these days na pwede ng 1.7 bar stock. And it's reliable. And there's barely any turbo lag as we discovered kanina na it's water-to-air intercooled. And the power band is very fat, so almost at any RPM, you have power. Honestly, it's a very fun engine to play with. And that's not the best part yet. Actually, the best part is, tipid din siya sa gas. Given how much we're barreling down the road and how much my smile is up to my ears, feeling ko we're consuming a lot of gas eh. But no, I was gravely mistaken. According to our trip computer, when I looked down, we're actually almost always in the 9s. 9 kilometers per liter-ish. Tapos, pag super luwag yung traffic, sometimes it hits 10, 11. So really, best of both worlds in terms of power and fuel efficiency. Now, moving on to the transmission. For this variant, the Empow GB, we couldn't really fully appreciate how quick shifting it is kasi we don't get paddle shifters or plus minus over here. So we really don't have full control over the transmission. Pero when it does shift, quick naman siya. So hopefully we get to drive the top of the line trip kasi that one has paddle shifters. So I bet I have so much fun with that. Even if we don't have paddle shifters though, the computer is actually smart enough to keep you at an optimal gear depending on what mode you're in. So say when you're in Eco, you're at low RPMs para tipid sa gas. So in Sport Plus mode naman, it keeps it at an optimal gear where you can get going agad. The only time na nakukulangan lang ako sa Empow is when you do something that the computer can't predict. Like for example, you need to do a quick overtake agad. The computer doesn't know that naman eh. So when you put your foot on the floor, it takes a while for the ECU to tell it to downshift. So sana, if we had paddle shifters, I could have downshifted agad before we overtake. In traffic naman, you kind of feel na tumitimpla yung clutch. So in stop and go traffic, it's really not as smooth as your standard automatic transmission. But then, it's just really a DCT thing, so it's a trade-off you get with a performance transmission. As for engine power, we have 4 modes. We have Eco, Comfort, Sport, and Sport Plus. And my favorite part here is that there's actually one mode called DIY, as in do it yourself. So you can mix and match what power, what steering, and what ESP mode you want to be in. So very nice, kasi you can really get what you want in the power modes. As for stopping power, it's actually pretty good. It has a lot of feel and it's easy to modulate. As for suspension, the Empow's suspension is more akin to a GT car. It's soft and compliant, but may pagka-sporty pa rin naman siya when you feel a little playful. For the handling, the front end is pretty solid. Grip is pretty decent and the breakaway characteristics is pretty predictable. Steering is very direct, so turning the car feels like an extension of your body. So on corners, this car is pretty much a point-and-shoot affair. The rear end, though, it refuses to play. It just stays planted in an awkward and artificial way. So our hunch is that the electronics is a bit overprotective and it butts in before any real handling can show through. And ganun pa rin siya even in Sports Plus mode. And we tried turning off traction control to see if it'll help, but it turns back on at any sign of slip. Then if the car detects that the wheel is turned, it actually reduces the torque output of the engine. So, kunyari, ear turned and then you wanna throttle na. No! Denied! No boost for you! No stududo! Sad. So, you actually have to unwind first before it gives you power. So, if you're doing any serious driving, it won't put power down when you're mid-corner. Slight sad lang na you have to unwind the wheel first before the computer gives you any real power. The electronics really limit the potential of all these amazing hardware. I mean, yeah, it's sporty in the entry-level sense, but it doesn't allow experienced drivers to do any dancing. It's overly safe na I feel like it's designed for a guy who just got his license yesterday. But to be fair, I'm actually very confident in handing this car to a newer driver. It's almost impossible to get into a sticky situation in this car. Kahit ganyan pa siya kabilis. But the potential is there. The engine is amazing, the transmission is quick, and the chassis isn't bad also. But if anyone is able to hack and tune the software and to unlock all the potential, you have all the hardware here na to make an amazing track weapon eh. Siguro some brake pads lang and some coilovers. The drivetrain is already pretty good eh. It will already make a lot of other cars on track cry. Like hagul-gul cry. But as it is right now, I do enjoy it as a GT touring car. It has the power to make your daily commutes less boring, but at the same time, hindi siya masakit sa bulsa kasi how fuel efficient it is. Hindi nakakapagod yung suspension, and the interior makes it such a nice place to be in. And then after all that nitpicking, you remember, magkano nga ba tong Empow? Did you know the top-of-the-line version of this model is only, the really tricked-out one na, is only around 1.3 million pesos. So really, you get all of this for 1.3 million pesos max? That's crazy! At the end of the day, parang all my complaints seem pretty trivial. For the price point, this is already one of the best in class. And seriously, the hardware you get is very impressive. And I'm really not sure how they were able to fit all that with a budget of 1 to 1.3 million pesos. So it's really hard to beat the GAC Empow in terms of value for money. Anyways, yun lang. You know, I feel like if the GAC Empow was around when I was starting to become car guy, car girl, feeling ko ito would have been a good beginner option. I mean, it's really friendly to new drivers, but at the same time, it doesn't rob me of the ticklish fun you get with a 1.5 liter turbo. Diba?